taken on Wyanair behind a couple of horses. He was very busy in the preliminaries, and he's just restrained him early on as they head towards the first, with on the inside Fusil Raffles and also Shan Blue as they take the first off the fences. Black Bow as the back marker over it. A reminder, they start in the centre. In second place on this long swinging turn. Chantry House moves through into third. Then behind these, Chatham Street lad Shan Blue is asked again. The pack are gradually closing. Fusil Raffles, Chantry House, Asterion Forlange the Grey, and then Chatham Street lad Shan Blue is being joined now by Chantry House. Fusil Raffles between the pair, two out. Little Fusil Raffles picks up narrowly in the lead from Chantry House and Asterion Forlange as they head down towards the last. In the marsh, Chantry House has moved through the lead. Chantry House is over from Fusil Raffles, who picks in second. Asterion Forlange is back in third place. It is Chantry House who leads by 2 lengths from Fusil Raffles in second place. Chantry House is still holding on bravely in the marsh. Chantry House for Nico de Boinville is a 70th festival winner for Nicky Henderson. In second, Fusil Raffles. Asterion Forlange was third. Back in fourth, Chatham Street lad. Behind those, Shan Blue. Black Bow was next, and then last to finish was Darva Star. Well, the whole complexion of that race changed when Wyanair came down. Chantry House chased the strong pace set by Shan Blue, very aggressively ridden, and came home strongest, third in last year's Supreme. Fusil Raffles ran really well. Asterion Forlange in third place. Chatham Street lad in fourth, and there is Shan Blue, who did kick for home an awful long way out and couldn't sustain it to the line. The story of the race is as much a horse that's opposite me. I can see him walking away in Wyanair. He is perfectly okay. Do not let that detract, however, from what it means to reach 70 festival winners for Nicky Henderson, the first UK trainer to do so. From my vantage point, I can see joy and absolute despair. Jack Kennedy walking away back up the home straight, minus his horse, looking completely disconsolate. You can go from absolute desolation to absolute triumph at the festival in a matter of minutes. Network final field, as always, a very competitive look to it. And just take that little left-hand bend, that angle unwinds and away we get. So often racing. First head away is Redford Road, who races alongside Anything Will Do, just drifts back as out in the centre Potter's Hedger is prominent in company with Milliner. The grey is Brinkley as they head towards the first. You know what I mean, Harry. And the boss is Oscar jumping up amongst runners as they all take the first okay. This afternoon with Anything Will Do on the inside. Then you know what I mean, Harry, and the boss is Oscar. The loose horse nipping up the inside. It's going to cause some trouble here because a few of those jockeys will think that's a jockey trying to nip up the inner and will try and close the door, and the horse will just bulldoze his way through. It cost Redford Road his position as Potter's Hedger and Brinkley, with you know what I mean, Harry, at 13 years of age for Kevin Brogan, tracking them going well. Copperhead comes next from Redford Road. The boss is Oscar with every chance from there. Keeper Hill, Milliner creeping into it under Rachel Blackmore. Imperial Alcazar trying to get closer. Redford Road, after that interference, has dropped back to midfield. Dandy Mag, another who is improving as they race towards the second last. Potter's Hedger, Brinkley with Copperhead. The boss is Oscar coming there strongly on the outside. Mrs. Milner tracks the leader. Champagne Platinum up the inside. Anything Will Do keeping the door open. Dandy Mag comes next from Come On Teddy and Imperial Alcazar as the field now make the long run down towards the final flight in the Pertemps final. Potter's Hedger, Champagne Platinum towards the far side. The boss is Oscar and Mrs. Milner. Then Dandy Mag. Milliner comes next from Brinkley. Copperhead, Spirit of the Games from a long way back, is running on as well. It's Mrs. Milner who's gone to the front for Brian Cooper. Champagne Platinum. Then running on towards the far side, Ask Dylan, Come On Teddy, and the boss is Oscar. This is the last, and Mrs. Milner is over by about 2 to 3 lengths from the boss is Oscar. Champagne Platinum, Come On Teddy. Then behind these is Milliner and Dandy Mag, but it's Mrs. Milner driven out towards the line for Brian Cooper and Paul Nolan. Mrs. Milner beats the boss's Oscar. Come On Teddy. Milliner is home in fourth place. The extra places will go to Ask Dylan and Champagne Platinum from Dandy Mag. Spirit of the Games, then Potter's Hedger, Everglow. No comment behind these. Anything Will Do. Keeper Hill towards the back as well. Pulled up was Redford Road. Well, these races are anything but boring, and Mrs. Milner has come home clear. 5 to 6 lengths was the gap. The boss's Oscar's home in second. Come On Teddy third. Milner's going to be home in fourth place, or Milner is home in fourth place. Here you can see, preceded by the loose horse, who had a play in proceedings as they came down the hill. But delight there and a comfortable win in the end for Mrs. Milner. The Bosses Oscar in second had every chance. Come on Teddy for the No Feeling Racing Syndicate's given them a great thrill. Milner gets up for fourth. The extra place is Champagne Platinum, and that is Ask Dylan, I think, on the far side. They are fifth and sixth, just ahead of the likes of Spirit of the Games. Plenty of chances going to the last, but Mrs. Milner booted away and eventually was a pretty comfortable winner. The course, and well, that flag's still raised, and they were galloping. No idea why. They released the tape to let them past. You could just see the flag was still up and they approached the gallop. I've no idea why that happened, because they all did it. It wasn't one. You see the flag's up. We can't see where the tape's across, but they've all broken into a gallop here and the flag's not been dropped. Maybe they just preempted the starter. It'll take a moment or two to get them back because they went quite a fair way.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of these want to be forward.
Take two, Richard.
Yeah, they walk in the second time and it worked well as they head on then towards the first. So Minities, who's up there with Allaho in the early stages, Mr. Fisher 6 or 7 deep for the lead. That marker's over it. Tornado Flyer already been bustled up by Danny Mullins as the Ridden to pick up the pieces, has moved through now into fifth place. Up the home straight and Allaho remains clear. Heading towards the second last. Kalashnikov is trying to reduce the gap. Mr. Fisher has been pulled up, but Allaho is good over the second last. In second place and ridden is Kalashnikov. Then back in third place, Bakir Dudery down towards the last. Allaho is over safely for Rachel Blackmore and is clear, bunching up the second place with Bakir Dudery, Kalashnikov and Tornado Flyer. Allaho in the colours of the Jubilee Park stud, continuing the great week for Rachel Blackmore, and Willie Mullins, sticking that big neck out, will win the Ryanair. Allaho beat Bakir Dudery, third for Tornado Flyer. Kalashnikov was fourth. Fanny and Destraban is the only other one to finish. We say they go from pillar to post and broke them one by one. A relentless gallop from Allaho, run down by Champ in the RSA 12 months ago when Rachel Blackmore was alongside him on Minella Indo. This time she was aboard him, and a breathtaking win in the Ryanair, a dominant display. Fakaduderi second, Danny Mullins good ride on Tornado Flyer to finish in third with Kalashnikov in fourth. My word, there was no hiding place in that contest. Allaho ran them into the ground. Featuring the winners for the last couple of years and a good few others besides. Sam Spinner and Little Rockefeller, two redoubtable campaigners leading them in, and Sam Spinner got caught a bit flat-footed and he takes a bit of rousting these days. Flooring Porter hits the start perfectly and leads with Liznagar Oscar and Vindication towards the first. Racing in fourth is You Never Call. It appears early on a decent pace. Little Rockefeller getting into his stride now, moves through on the inside but gave that a little bit of a clap. Making progress, then the Storyteller, Bacardi's comes next. Little Rockefeller is about to be pulled up, I think, and then behind these Main Fact and also Sam Spinner pulled up as well. Reserve Tag, 2 hurdles to take and still Flooring Porter leads. Vindication in second, then You Never Call towards the outside and trying to move into it. Beacon Edge for Sean Flanagan. Paisley Park on the wide outside, trying to get there with Cider Burley if the cap fits. Fury Road and then the Storyteller, 2 hurdles to take. Flooring Porter didn't see a great stride, but he's to the other side well. From in second place Beacon Edge, but the gap between them is 3 or 4 lengths and Flooring Porter is still travelling strongly. Vindication comes next, then Cider Burley. Paisley Park corners in 5th place, but he's beginning to stay on as they head on this long run towards the last. Flooring Porter for Danny Mullins has the lead from Beacon Edge. Paisley Park with the hill now to his benefit is in third and continuing to close. Cider Burley is next as they head to the last. Flooring Porter is maintaining the advantage. It is still 3 lengths from Beacon Edge. Paisley Park and Cider Burley, they all have work to do to catch Flooring Porter, who's over the last 3 lengths clear. In second place Beacon Edge, Cider Burley and Paisley Park, but Flooring Porter has led them a merry dance for Garen Cromwell. A chance ride for Danny Mullins. Flooring Porter is the champion stayer. Cider Burley second. Paisley Park tried every single yard of the way and rested third. From Beacon Edge, the Storyteller, Vindication, Bacardi's, and behind those is You Never Call. Flooring Porter has made every single yard, and Danny Mullins, who's had to wait for his Cheltenham Festival winner for a long, long time, has picked it up. You have to feel for Jonathan Moore, who would have ridden this horse, had a fall on Sunday, and was brave enough to decide that he wasn't fit to ride. As a result, maybe Flooring Porter, well, it was written in the stars for Danny Mullins, but a brave decision by Jonathan Moore. But could have been the big difference if he wasn't fit between victory and defeat. Flooring Porter has knocked them all out in the Paddy Power Stayers.
You know, Mr. Whittaker won here a couple of years ago and ran well last year. Looks like he's been let out for this.
Steady, Richard.
Steady.
What are you doing?
Don't be surprised again once they get out of that chute. That's a word there. I think Jordan Gainford, he had a look across. I don't know whether it was accompanied by a verbal. He's only starting out as a £7 claim. Wouldn't mix with Robbie Supple.
That have a bit more space will have an easier chance to jump this start and get a good start.
There's a very valid point. I don't think it was a bad. It happens. It was a perfectly good start, but those on the outside haven't got any great disadvantage. Long run to the first bend. The shunter it is who leads them over the first, which they all appear to breaks. Cool Cody comes next, then Top Notch. Paddy's Poem, Old Grangewood round the outside in company with Assemble, looking for a gap. Farclar met trouble in running as they head down towards the second last. It is the shunter in the pale blue, trying to hold off Old Grangewood and Little Top Notch between them as they take two from the finish. The shunter has the lead from Top Notch. Assemble, Farclar, Kilteely Briggs, Cool Cody, Old Grangewood, Happy Diva running on strongly. The shunter comes down towards the last, leads by only a length or so from Top Notch. The brave Farclar challenging between horses. The shunter has the advantage. Farclar with a length to find, 100 yards to do so, but the shunter is going to win the Paddy Power Plate and the bonus. Another big payday and a winner for the promising Jordan Gainford. The shunter beat Farclar, Cool Cody, Top Notch and Assemble. Caribbean Boy from Huntsman Son, Sonny Dog, Kilteely Briggs. Old Grangewood earning Curlix got round. Also the units got round. Towards the back, B. Doonery has come back without the rider, with the saddle slipped well back. And his rider is just getting up at the last. The shunter goes from strength to strength. Lands a big payday. Farclar ran well in second. Third, Top Notch being closed on by Cool Cody. Well, his heart at Little Top Notch has got third and a Cool Cody. Back in fifth place then is Assemble. They were clear. Any extra places, Huntsman Son it is who sixth. Caribbean Boy moved through into seventh place. The shunter continues to go from strength to strength. And also a young man to make a note of in the saddle, Jordan Gainford, early on in his career, has kept his cool and ridden a Cheltenham Festival winner.
And we'll hear from him in a second, but congrats. Good luck to the ITV7 players. The one on Glens of Antrim, his first ever ticket, Richard.
Arnell Properties Mares Novices Hurdle Field about to arrive at the first. They are all over safely and they're pretty well strung out. Sky Magic Days bowling along in the lead. A bit more pressure applied by Perfect Myth in black and yellow. Then towards the inside, Glens of Antrim in the green cap with the white star. Gauloise comes next. Rosie's Hollow on the running rail with Ponteval, Sky Ace, the Glancing Queen, Mighty Blue. Behind these, Hook Up, Tell Me Something Girl is beginning to improve. Rachel Blackmore's bided her time. Pale blue colours with the red cap into about 9th or 10th places. And there's still plenty of chances as they bunched up on this long run down towards the second last by the hurdles. Magic Days has the lead. Glens of Antrim breaks cover and moves to challenge with Perfect Myth, Gauloise, then Rosie's Hollow, Sky Ace, the Glancing Queen, Tell Me Something Girl, now asked for the effort, having to pick her way through the field. Mighty Blue is towards the outside, still sitting quietly. Robbie Power on the front end. Glens of Antrim's having to push along. Rachel Blackmore has spied more gaps again and moves through into third in the red cap on Tell Me Something Girl on the left hand side. Mighty Blue is coming there as well. Out in the lead, it is Magic Days who has the advantage, but Tell Me Something Girl, the stable companion, draws alongside. Then behind these in third place, Sky Ace on the outside in company with Mighty Blue, then the Glancing Queen down towards the last. Tell Me Something Girl comes down towards the final flight and leads over it from Magic Days. Mighty Blue and then Sky Ace. Tell Me Something Girl, it doesn't really matter. They can front run, pick their way through the field. The tactical genius on display this week has been Rachel Blackmore. Henry de Bromhead now has a 1-2 as well.
well. Tell Me Something Girl, Magic Days, Mighty Blue, Sky Ace. The Irish domination continues. The Glancing Queen, Roses Hollow, then Glens of Antrim, who's across the line next. Tell Me Something Girl, ridden with great confidence. Where others find trouble, Rachel Blackmore just seems to find not just time, but gaps, and serenely moves horses into challenge. And Tell Me Something Girl has dashed away to win by a wide margin. Magic Days ran really well, the stable companion of the winner, because she did race very keenly early on. And still the Irish come. Joseph O'Brien trains Mighty Blue, Shark Hanlon, Spain's Sky Ace. At least the Glancing Queen broke up that Irish domination, because the next two are also Irish trained as well. Rachel Blackmore has every chance of not just winning on Honeysuckle on day 1 of the festival, but ending it on day 4 as leading rider.
Now, Tell Me Something, the two greatest jockeys that Cheltenham